Uh, Pallavi, have you joined?
Yes, sir.
Uh,
I've joined.
Pallavi?
Yes,
Yeah,
sir. I've joined.
Pallavi, many congratulations to you, Pallavi, for securing All India rank 340. Yes, many congratulations, Pallavi, for securing
Thank you.
AIR
Thank you, sir. Thank you so
AIR
much.
340 rank in the UPSC 2020 examination. And a very warm welcome to you at the India Wide channel. Myself, I am Ashutosh Gupta, popularly known as India Bhai, and the owner of the India Bhai channel and mentor at my own channel. So Pallavi, let's start. I can't see you. Satme, is it possible that we can have directly? We can see her.
My video is on.
You can see her once she talks. You can see.
Okay, fine. Okay. Anyway, Pallavi, so first of all, let me ask few questions for the benefit of the student community, and then later we will have an open session. Each one of the candidates who are present here can ask you questions, and similarly you can give the answers, and this will be benefit. This will be benefit for every one of us. So first of all, Pallavi, first of all, we'll start from a most important crucial question that after your success in this seventh attempt, what is your feeling? Means how do you actually find this success as one of the best or the greatest success of your life?
I wouldn't say it is one of the best or greatest success of my life. Better things are yet to come, but it
Can you
does
hear?
feel good.
Can you hear me,
Am
Pallavi?
I audible? Am I audible? Hello?
You are audible, Pallavi.
Yeah, okay. So that's what I was telling,
Okay.
that it is not one of the, I mean, it could be one of the major achievements of my life
Yes,
so
you're
far.
audible.
Yeah, so it feels good when your when your efforts actually materialize after such a long time. But overall, I feel mentally relieved, not very excited, I would say, but it is definitely a relieving and satisfactory feeling.
Okay. So yeah, Pallavi, now I can see you. I think some network issue was there. Okay. First of all, for the benefit of the student community, I just want you to answer this question very honestly. That is your journey from your first attempt to the last attempt. That means the sixth and the seventh attempt. Means in which your journey you have so 7 years long, 7 8 years. You were continuously studying. Most of the candidates here are studying 4 years, 5 years, 6 years. They are getting frustrated. They are getting demoralized because of this long process of examination. So, how did you sustain your motivation, as well as what was your story between the first to the seventh attempt? So, just briefly, can you tell and downs of your life till now?
See, if I have to sum up, I would say it was full of mistakes and emotional turmoil, as you said. If I talk about mistakes that I did in my past few attempts, was first I believed in whatever the toppers said. I had heard some toppers saying that they did not read Lakshmikant or Spectrum, and I believed them. And in my first or second attempt, I did not read those books. I would say that was one of the biggest mistakes that I did. Secondly, I never joined any test series. For once, I could clear the mains because of my own. I think I did not join test series, but then again I got the interview call. So I thought that without even joining the test series or without even practicing the answer writing thing, I could get the interview call again also. So I did not practice enough test. That was one major mistake. A third mistake that I did was I was running after perfection. As in every material I used to get, I used to think that okay, I would incorporate even this in my answer, and then later on, so many things kept coming, and these things wo there you have so much material, but then you have only 250 words or 2 or 3 pages maximum, and then you have so many things to remember. So not everything is reproducible. So that was one major mistake I did. And fourth thing that I missed was I did not have a right person to guide me. Honestly, I would say in my all 5 attempts, I think I was on my own and I was doing trial and error by reading topper strategies, blogs, and everything. I was trying. Some things worked, some did not work. So that was one mistake that I did. That I believe I blindly followed whatever the toppers said. And about the emotional turmoil, I think it is part of the journey. I would say once you have decided to pursue UPSC, I think you should be mentally prepared for it also. The kind of profession that we are entering in is more emotionally exhausting, I would say. It is preparation is preparation, I would say, is rather even easier, but the coming years might be very tough. And I think what kept me going was the fact that I could get an interview call, or somehow I always believed that I could do it. So I kept on giving it. Despite all the setbacks or whatever things that were coming, I always thought that nahi ho to jayega humse. Some I agree that there are some days when you feel like इतने सालों से क्या कर रहे हैं हम, सेम बुक्स पढ़ रहे हैं, बुक्स के पेजेस पीले हो गए हैं, पेजेस निकलने लग गए हैं, all those things kept happening. But then somehow I always believed कि नहीं नहीं इतना आए हैं तो फिर अब not looking back. It's like when you have entered the battle, you fight it fully. You don't leave it the middle. So I always believed in that कि किया है तो फिर खत्म करके ही करेंगे, नहीं होगा it's perfectly fine, but I would give my 100%. That's it.
Okay, so I think he's having some network issue.
Hmm.
So I'll further ask you the questions on behalf of the students. So, okay, Pallavi, so in this all years of your attempt, you realized that there are ways in which, the smart work can be done for cracking this examination. So how do you differentiate this hard work and smart work for this examination? Give some, idea about the smart work which you did in the last attempt and how you got the success.
See, I think smart work that I did in my past 2 attempts was I focused exhaustively on value addition of my answers. I believe whoever has read the material once or revised his basic texts for at least 3 or 4 times, he has some general idea about everything. So when that person is going to write mains, he would be able to write general answers and get average marks. But to qualify mains or to make it to the list, you have to stand out. So for smart work, what I used to do was I had this habit of daily newspaper reading. I used to pick whatever important things that I used to get from the newspapers. Not every article I used to read, but I had revised or memorized the syllabus so many times that I just used to scan through the paper. Whatever used to be relevant from the syllabus point of view, I used to note it down, either from the newspaper or from the monthly magazine. I never read them word by word. I just used to go through them and find out the value addition points. I added it into my notes according to the topics of syllabus. So I had made all those notes according to each and every topic. I had some 1 or 2 pages ka material for every topic, and I think that helped me a lot. That because I had a ready introduction, conclusion, and some fodder for the body, so I did not have to think in those 3 hours as to what to write. So that saved me a lot of time also and gave me some extra edge.
Okay. Okay, so that's the difference. You people understood. She stated about the smart work. What she did was by making the short notes, and which helped her a lot in revising, consolidating, and reproducing in the examination. Some introduction, conclusion was already ready with her. So now I hand over to India Bhai, sir, and he will be asking questions.
Okay, Pallavi. So what do you actually suggest for a person, those who candidates are there who can't afford such a costly coaching and large fees, hefty fees for the enrollment in various test series program as well as the classes? What do you suggest? Can they do self-study and they can do their best, or they will still having a problem, or they can follow as you have told that they can't follow the proper strategy blindly? So now for them, what to do?
Sir, I think for coaching materials, I would say basic books have to be read. So these days, lot of online basic explanations are there. So you can go through the books and refer those online explanations. But I think if you can get test series program, it would be very helpful. A lot of scholarship programs are there for these students by various state governments, or even some institutes do provide scholarships to the student if they are appearing for the mains examination or prelims examination. So try looking for scholarship programs because test series are very
Right.
important. For prelims, at least you can manage without test series, you can solve your questions. But for mains, some feedback is important. If you can get any other person, evaluate your copy, and if that person is experienced, it is more than, it would be very good for you that without joining, if you could get. But some evaluation and some feedback is definitely very important. Even peer groups can help in that. If someone cannot afford, you can have a very good peer group, but then again, the quality of the peer group matters. That is another different thing.
Okay. Okay, okay. So, what according to you is the role of a mentor or a teacher, was there in your preparation, and how it helped you to formulate your right kind of strategy for the examination?
Sir, I think my entire journey actually sums up the role of mentor because
Can
till
you hear
my
my question, Pallavi?
yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you. As I said, that till my fifth attempt, I did not have any mentor. Even for the interview program, I would say I could have. There are a lot of could haves in the preparation journey, but I still feel in 2016, had I done a little better in my interview, I would have made it to the list also. But then I did not have anyone to tell me that this is right, this is wrong. So till my fifth attempt, I was just doing trial and error process. Later, in my sixth attempt, I joined your CMP program, and I would say, apart from the mains feedback, there were a lot of things that I benefited. Was first was structure. Second was planning and prioritizing, because even during mains we have very short time, 2.5 months or maximum 3 months. So within those times, hello.
Yes, go ahead, Pallavi.
Yeah, within those 3 months or 2.5 months, it is it gets very confusing for students, especially that which subject to read, which subject to skip. Sometimes we are reading paper 2, and then in between we are
Please
feeling that
continue.
paper 3 is missing out. So those thoughts keep coming. Like for example, you don't know how much time to devote to optional, how much time to devote to GS. So for me, that planning, prioritizing with respect to mentorship helped a lot. Also for feedback and evaluation, it was very important. And I would say, especially for a veteran like me, mental anxiety was another different issue. So mentorship helped me with that also. I think everyone knows who's been associated with India Bhai that he keeps this he keeps saying this thing, right, कि जो लगा रहता है उसका हो जाता है कभी ना कभी. So that always kept me motivated and helped me relieve my anxiety.
So, okay, Pallavi, someone is asking about, these days prelims is becoming a really, a tough task. So, tell me some strategy about prelims.
ये तो सही बात है, जो लगा रहता है उसका हो जाता है. Those who are trying their best, he will get into the service. ये तो sure है. I've seen so many in my life. अभी तक मैंने लगातार example किसी के देखे हुए हैं. Anyway, Satyajit sir, do you want to summarize or do you want?
Yes, I was asking, somebody is asking in the group that, how to prepare for prelims these days. Even people have, some people failed in prelims, then again, again they have to continue for the next year. So how to take up that failure and how to be motivated, how to take up prelims for next year so that, the people should qualify it. So what is your take?
See, first thing is to take up his failure, it's like break up, move on. जितना जल्दी move on करना है, उतना जल्दी हमारा फायदा होना है. ठीक है? So you may cry for 1 month maximum, not more than that. and move on. Secondly is unpredictability of prelims. Usme first thing that I feel major mistakes that people do, and even I had done in 2018, was we go with a rigid mindset of attempting certain number of questions. पहले से ही we go with a mindset that we have to attempt 90 questions or 85 questions, or there is some limit that we decide that these many questions we have to do. So don't go with a rigid mindset at all. You have to decide in those 2 hours only how many questions you have to attempt, and if the paper is tough, it would be tough for everyone. So second, ये तो हो गया rigid mindset. Secondly, we panic in the exam hall also. I have seen a lot of people and even myself that if I do the first round of questions and if it is coming around 30-35, I get panic कि यार अब तो इतना ही हुआ है. I don't think 40-45 guess लगाने is too much of risk, and now तो prelims is gone. हम वहीं पे हार मान जाते हैं. So take question, every question, single question, it's like a cricket thing that ball by ball लेना है. You don't have to think about the entire match. So take every question as a ball. And thirdly is never rely on compilations. Never. PT 365 is not the ultimate solution for prelims.
Okay, so
Or it's not just vision or any compilation, I'm telling. Vision current affairs is a very good material, but then again, it is not the ultimate solution. It cannot guarantee your success. So you have to read basic newspapers and basic books ka reading. You have to do it religiously and revise it as many times as you can. Minimum 3 to 4 revisions are important. Don't ignore these things, because sometimes we over rely on these materials and that costs us a lot. And exactly, practice as many tests so that you get to know your own range, because ye 90 or 80 85 wala range, it varies from people to people. Some people might have good accuracy, and with 70 questions they might get good accuracy and they can clear. Some people have a good success rate with respect to intelligent guessing. So you have to find out your own proper range with adequate enough test practice.
okay, so summarizing what Pallavi has stated, that there has to be a fixed source, and your conventional should be really strong, and you should not be psychologically giving up, not in the examination, not before the examination. You should know your strengths and weaknesses. There are 10,000 strategies to qualify prelims. So those people who could not qualify, you just have to fit in those 10,000, right? So that's what she mentioned. So now I ask India Bhai sir to ask some questions. Yes, please. Okay, taking up the other questions of the students who are asking. In mains, after the prelims, it becomes very hasty, or some people fail in prelims. So it is said that due process has to be followed in UPSC. Like, you fail in prelims, yet this time is for mains, so you should be preparing for mains, and then again when the right time comes, then you must be coming to the prelims. All right, so after qualifying prelims also, it becomes very hasty that how to take up essay, ethics, GS paper 1 2 3 4 optional, how to prioritize your time, how to prioritize your time to manage all these things together in the short span of 70-80 days.
See, again, it is very subjective depending on your level of preparation. But assuming that everyone would have been reading for prelims and optional, so I think before prelims, at least 2 महीने पहले तो optional ने किसी ने optional को छुआ नहीं होगा. So I believe right after prelims, 1.5 months, 60-40 you should follow. 60% time you should give to your optional, and 40% time you should give to your general studies preparation. And that is why I talked about test series. You join a test series because even if you are not able to join, just take out the schedule of some test series and follow that schedule. I think thoda sa wo difficult ho jata hai, because when you don't have a check on you, it becomes difficult. But if you are internally disciplined, follow that schedule so that it gives you a structure. As in within how many days you have to finish your GS1, within how many days you have to finish GS2. Because when you don't join a test series or when you don't join a schedule, what happens is हम एक महीने तक GS1 या GS2 ही करते रहते हैं, and suddenly we realize that only 15 days are left, and now GS3, GS2, GS4 are also left. So to avoid that thing, you should have a schedule. So either you can join a test series or follow a schedule of some test series. Also, for essay, I think essay is the most neglected part of the entire preparation, but it is very important. The amount of effort that you are giving for general studies papers, उससे बस थोड़ा सा ही effort देना है, but effort देना है. Because it is equally important. It is also of 250 marks. One essay paper is equal to one GS paper, and getting 140 or 130 minimum in essay is easily doable, but in GS it is difficult. So essay is very important. तो इसलिए आप essay को prioritize करिए. essay का I think there are some 20 years का topic. You can find it on the internet. Many websites have uploaded the commonly repeated topics are there for essay, like poverty, women, science and technology, artificial intelligence. So for every topic, have some structure ready. And as you read the newspapers, keep on adding some values to your the essay thing, because essay thoda sa ये है कि you don't have to be like your essay should not be like GS papers. Your essay should be very interesting, should be very multidimensional. To understand what is interesting and multidimensional, I think you can read toppers essay on uploaded on various websites. You would see how they are writing. That is a different thing, but essay का ये है कि if you haven't written any essay before the prelims, I think it is important that you start writing it. At least one essay in 10 days. In 10 days, at least one essay you should write, and before exam, write 4 essays and get it evaluated. Don't take the essay paper for granted. Sometimes you miss the cutoff by 20-30 marks, and then you would regret that. Don't do that.
Okay. So, for all those people who are present here, I'd like to remind you all, if you are present in our channel, we have got a very systematic program for CMP, even essay, ethics, daily answer writing, geography optional, sociology optional, PSIR, um, animal husbandry optional. So we have got a diversity of programs in which mentorship is there. So if you choose to practice all those things in institutionalized ways, you can come with us, and we will surely be helping you in achieving your dreams. Now, I would request India Bhai sir to ask certain questions, please.
Hello, ma'am.
Yeah, Pallavi. Yeah, Pallavi, just one more question to you, and then we will be giving the whole audience to speak. They will talk to you. How you have been in so many years? What is the source of motivation for you? How did you keep yourself motivated?
I think that is one of the toughest question, because in those years, my source of motivation have
Pallavi, you got my
varied.
question, na? So
Yeah.
since
Hmm.
yeah,
Hmm. Yeah, it was. I think it is one of the toughest questions, because in all these years, so many sources of motivation have
Okay.
come for me. But I would say the thing is that when I have always said that I did not come this far to only come this far. So every year when I used to fail at different stages, I used to try back again. And the thing was, when I used to look at my parents or my friends, they were actually dedicating or devoting a lot for me. Like they never felt they never gave me any burden of any household work or anything. So I used to think that if they can be so liberal, if they can be so accommodating and giving me so many chances, why can't I fulfill their expectations? So that was one thing, and I always kept me I think I kept me reminding of the good things that I had done in life. Sometimes हमें ऐसा लगता है after these many failures in UPSC, we start thinking that we are a loser in life. we cannot do anything, and we start judging our potential in life with just success or failure in this exam. So I used to remind myself of my school days or my college days when I had done something good, and I used to remind myself कि ठीक है तुमने तब अच्छा किया था, people appreciated you so much. So those incidences motivated me a lot. Then I used to read a lot about people who made it in their last attempts, or who made it in their eighth or ninth attempt, or even not from UPSC. I think motivation is something very internal. When you have that zeal to pursue your dreams, you start looking for positive things in everything around you. I think last year, a lot of people Irfan Khan died last year. So his life and journey used to motivate me a lot. I used to feel like this person has lived for only just 40, 50 years, and after so many struggles he has made a mark for himself. So I think anything that used to come around me, I used to look for positive
Okay.
things in those things.
Okay, that's good. So, okay, now we will take up certain questions from students. Please ask your questions, and she will be answering the questions. We are always there. This is the time you should be interacting with a topper and learn from her experiences. And please ask your questions if you have the question, please.
Okay.
Good evening, ma'am.
Yeah, good evening.
I'm Harini, ma'am. Ma'am, actually, initially, first of all, congratulations for your massive success.
Thank you.
And when for a beginner, and how do you read NCRT? Like they'll be telling NCRT should be read at least 3 times, and after your basic is so strong, then we have to move on to the standard books. So, how do you explain this?
I didn't get your question. I think you should. You read NCRTs, right? You have to see every book. I think you have to read it in 3 stages, as someone said. First reading, you have to just understand what is written. NCRT is written, I think, in a very simple language, so you would be able to understand or get it. Second reading, you underline what is important. Third reading, may you focus on mugging up what is important for prelims or mains. So suppose if you have, I think NCRTs for geography is very important. You have to give at least 4 or 5 readings. Suppose you are reading economics. So if economics you are reading general, I think introduction to macroeconomics, microeconomics is the NCRT that we read. So after reading those 2 books, 3 or 4 readings, then you can switch to the economics material by Mrunal or Ramesh Singh's book. Then you can actually shift to that thing, but also keep your syllabus with you before reading any material or any book for the syllabus, the general studies paper.
Ma'am, and also one more thing is that while reading NCRT, should we concentrate on newspaper or not, ma'am?
Newspaper, I think if you're a beginner, just develop a habit of reading the newspapers. You don't have to, I think it would be very difficult for you also, especially if you're a beginner, when you won't have understanding of international relations or even the basic concepts of economics like inflation, deflation, all those things. It would be difficult, but still try to read newspaper out of interest only. Just this development of habit is very important, I feel. So keep reading the newspapers even if you don't understand some concept. If you're not getting it, just leave that thing, but develop a habit of reading the newspapers.
Okay, ma'am. And also, how do we prepare for current affairs? How do you read the newspaper? And this is a general question for all the aspirants.
See, current affairs, again, I would say that once you have basic understanding of your basic texts and everything, suppose if you are starting your preparation today, so after 5, 6 months, you would have understood basic concepts of every subject. So once you're done with that, you can switch to finding out the materials in the newspaper. Most of the things are generally covered in the current affairs magazine, but still, as I said, syllabus and previous year question papers. Go through the previous year question papers. You would find some trend. For example, in environment and ecology, they generally ask about certain species or certain national parks. So if a national park is coming in news, for any reason, if you see that any national park has come in newspaper, so see whatever important landforms are there around that national park, the mountains, the rivers, or what species are found, what type of vegetation is there in that national park, if any organization is there in the news. So see that thing. For me, I used to do was I used to make a list of things. I used to read the newspaper, then I used to make a list of probable topics for current affairs and for mains and as well as prelims. Every day I used to make that list. By the end of the month, I used to just tally those topics with the current affairs magazine. So whatever topics that was missing, that I used to prepare on my own, and whatever topics that were covered in the magazine, I used to leave those things. So by that, my comprehensive preparation was done.
Ma'am, one last question. And while starting the preparation, and when we see the previous year's questions, actually we don't understand anything. So, like how after reading the complete NCRTs, we have to go through the question papers, or before itself we have to go through the question papers?
I think go through the question paper at least once. And when you are done with one reading, then again go through the question paper. Keep your question paper by your side. Suppose if you are reading an NCRT on Indian Constitution or this thing, Panchayati Raj, all those issues, if you are reading, there are topics mentioned in paper 2, or if you are reading ancient history, if you are reading. So there are topics mentioned, right? So see the previous year question papers. You would see there would be questions from ancient India, modern India. See what type of questions they are asking. Is it the analytical question? Is it the factual questions? Which area they are focusing? See, if you see past, I think in 2016-17 or even before that, they used to ask term-based questions. Certain term they used to ask, like, what does this term mean? So when you are reading the NCRT, you have to focus on terms also. Okay, this term means this term means this. So I think when you are done with one reading, go through your question papers again. You would get the understanding of what sort of questions are asked.
Okay.
Thank you so much and for your time and opportunity, ma'am.
Yeah.
Next person, please. Next person.
Good evening, ma'am. I have one question. How to manage time for preparation along with job?
I think I might not be the right person to answer that, but I think because I have been preparing full time, but I think it all depends on how much time you're getting. I think Saturdays, Sundays would be off for you, so you can take out that time. Also, if you are coming around at, suppose if it is a 9 to 5 job or it is 9 to 9 job, it depends. I think you have to figure out a little about that, or I think it would be better if you see some aspirants or some toppers who had been preparing with job to answer the question. I might not be the right person.
Ma'am, one more question. When to start answer writing for mains?
Answer writing for mains, I would say once you are done with some basic understanding, at least after 3-4 months of your basic preparation, you should switch, not from the day one itself.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good evening, ma'am. Hello. Good evening, ma'am.
Go ahead.
Yeah, good evening.
Ma'am, like, how did you prioritize important topics and how you managed to plan and execute your reading about important topics like that on priority basis?
Yeah, that is why I said refer previous year question papers. You would understand what is important and what is not important. For prelims, there are certain sections that are important. For mains, also there are certain sections that are important. So, for example, world history is one such topic that is very dicey. So you cannot spend your 15 days, 20 days on world history for mains. You know that ancient India art and culture for means that at times they do ask a lot of questions. Last year they did ask a lot of questions on that. Or for example, paper 2 in mains, international relations is important, so you have to read. For prelims, if you see, there are a lot of things like whatever index is there, or in geography when you see, they do ask about geographical locations and mapping. So when you go through previous year papers, you would understand what topic is important and what topic is not important. And I think by looking at them, you would definitely be able to prioritize.
Next question, please.
Thank you, ma'am.
Good evening, ma'am.
All the best. Yeah, good evening.
My name is Ashwin, and you said that there is a difference between perfection and value addition to the answer, and how can we differentiate that thing? And one more thing, how do you, you said that from the syllabus itself, you took the points from the newspaper and added to that each and every day. Then many coaching materials are available that they are giving some kind of material to the every point in the syllabus. How it is different from your source and they are providing the material.
See, I have never seen how it is. I can't comment that how it would be different. But if you are getting a ready-made case study or facts and figures on any topic, it would definitely save you a lot of time. For me, I did was I had this habit of newspaper reading, so I made my own examples and my own facts and. I had my own sheet of facts and figures. And about the perfection and value addition, I would say I think 2 or 3 facts on every topic, 2 and 3 case studies or examples on every topic, that would be sufficient, not more than that. Anything, for example, if you have self help groups or if you have NGOs, if you have 3 examples of good NGOs that have done work in different sections, not same section, that would give value to your answer. Unnecessarily, there is no point in searching about NGOs and 10, 20 examples. So just 2, 3 case studies, 2, 3 examples, and 2, 3 facts, or 2, 3 constitutional articles. That is more than sufficient. If you find something very extraordinary, then you can write that thing in your notes. Otherwise, it's not needed.
Okay, madam. Okay, it was understood. Regarding that, how many topics we need to prepare for each subject, like polity? Because there are a lot of materials available, everyday editorial analysis, every day some kind of new points are coming. So what to read and what not to read, how we should differentiate it. Yes, this is the thing which I need to take, this is the thing which I need to avoid. How we can avoid that thing, especially because lot of everything seems important in terms of coaching material and everyday analysis.
See, I think for that, you have to read the syllabus. When you have at least 2 or 3 readings of syllabus, what I meant by 2 or 3 readings is when you have syllabus on your tips, you would definitely be able to understand what is important or what is not important. First thing is daily newspaper analysis, and newspapers are not written from the perspective of UPSC exam. They are newspapers only. So there would be many days when you have analysis on same topic coming for consecutive 4 days, and out of those 4 days also only 2 would have different points. Otherwise, same thing would be repeated in different languages. So for that, you need to have a proper understanding and grasp over the syllabus. Each and every keyword that is there in the syllabus, you should understand that, and that should be on your tips. So when you understand the syllabus, you would be able to filter out, and you would be able to associate also anything. Suppose if there is separation of powers, so if something is coming up in the newspaper related to separation of powers, you would be able to associate it. So if something is coming in the newspaper related to inclusive growth or disaster management, you would be able to associate, because I think what you said is right. When we are aspirants, we feel everything that is happening is important. So when you are reading something, if you are able to associate it with any topic in the syllabus, then it is important. If you cannot, then leave that topic.
Good
Good
okay,
evening,
madam.
ma'am.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Good evening, ma'am. Okay, next question, please.
Good evening, ma'am.
Yeah, good evening.
Ma'am, as you were preparing for time, what was your daily routine? How did you manage your time, like setting daily routine, etc.?
See, again, it is very subjective. You might not have to follow what I followed, because I tried following other people and then I compromised on my time. My daily routine used to be very normal. I used to go to library at around 8 o'clock or something in my hometown, and then I used to come back in the evening around 7:30 or something. In library, I used to take almost 1 hour ka break in between for 15 minutes for lunch, 15 minutes for tea, and 15 minutes just for nothing. I used to go out and just go out alone, roam for some 15 minutes and come back. So, 1 ghanta I had taken some break, but then again, don't follow anything rigidly. अगर तुम्हें सुबह जल्दी उठ के पढ़ते बनता है तो wake up early, do that is actually very good. For me, waking up early was very difficult. And थोड़ा सा ये है कि if you are a beginner, you might have time वाला issues, like it would be difficult for you to study 1 hour at a stretch, so you can try many techniques. There is a technique of Pomodoro and so many things are there, like sit for 25 minutes, then take 5 minutes break, then sit for 25 minutes. So it was like that. You don't have to follow any rigid routine. I would still say take out some 7 to 8 hours if it is possible, or even 5 to 6 hours. Productive 5 to 6 hours are more than enough in the initial stages, I would say.
Okay.
Thank
Only
you,
few
ma'am.
more questions. Yes,
Yeah,
please.
all the best.
And for a beginner, which is better, like newspaper reading or reading newspaper analysis?
I think go through analysis first. Just go through the headlines and then listen to the analysis. Then again, next day, try to see if you can approach your newspaper with the same approach that analysis was doing.
Okay, thank you.
Hello, ma'am.
Madam,
Okay, yes.
ma'am, just one more question. That you know what, after multiple attempts and after so many years, reading the same book and again, that too 3 times or 4 times in a row before prelims, is a kind of aversion will come into us. How we should avoid it and how we should go through it to revise again and again.
I think again it's an internal thing that you have to bring in when you have decided to do something. You can take a break for some 1 day, not more than that. Take a break, and again, the aversion comes because we have immersed ourselves too much into it. So I think have some social circle, have your friends, talk to your mentors, or casually. It's not a sin to sometimes watch YouTube or see certain entertainment things. So I think that aversion would come, but again, internally you have to have faith in yourself, and you have to have some commitment and discipline towards your goal. So when you have that, that aversion would not come, and even if it comes, take a break for some time.
Okay, last questions we are taking.
Good evening, ma'am. I have a
I
question
just,
related to GS4 ethics paper. Firstly, how to attempt GS4 paper? How much time for case study? Whether it should be attempted first? And secondly, how to improve marks in GS4?
See, I had followed both the approaches. Last year, I tried to attempt the 10 markers first and then switch to the case studies. And probably that costed me a lot. I couldn't attempt 2 case studies last year. This year, I attempted the case studies first, and I would also suggest you to attempt the case studies first and then switch to 10 markers. And I'm sorry, I skipped your second question. What was your second question?
Second question, how to improve marks in the GS4 paper?
In the GS4, I think what I did and what helped me score better was I had some quotations, some examples, and some pointers ready for every word that is mentioned in syllabus. Quotations, I think when you would Google, you would find quotations on every topic, or even I think बहुत सारे coaching institutes के जो material हैं उसमें आपको search करके quotations मिल जाएंगे. Examples, again, you would find ready-made examples. Last year, I think only IS ने कोई PDF निकाला था, उसमें ready-made examples हैं. नहीं तो जैसा मैं न्यूज़पेपर में करती थी, what was that I used to read newspaper with that orientation only, that I have to find some relevant value addition points. तो मैं न्यूज़पेपर से ही अपने value addition points निकाल लेती थी. Otherwise, you have betterindia.org. Therein, you would find lot of good examples to cite for case studies or in ethics papers. So quotations, examples, and then one more thing. What I did was I had made a pointer on everything, every word that was mentioned about its relevance in civil services and in general society. So char point I had written for each and every topic for that is mentioned in GS4. So I had made a short notes in this format and I had mugged up these things. So that was one thing, and presentation also works for GS4 in all the GS papers. So I tried attempting all the case studies in different formats. Generally, what format people follow is the stakeholders, the dilemmas, the values. This is the normal template format. I tried following different approaches in different question papers, and I used some facts and figures from general studies also in essay GS4 paper. So I think I attempted GS4 more like an essay paper and with a more practical approach or interesting. So probably that is why my score improved.
Ma'am, please can you elaborate further on the template that you use in case studies? Different template that you used.
See, again, that is what I said. No, one is the generally that we start is first we give the summary of the case study. So instead of giving the summary, in some case studies, I started like suppose I don't remember the case studies, but instead of giving the summary, I started with some facts or figures that were relevant. I think this time they had asked some question related to international relations or giving the weapons or something, all those things. So I had used international relations ke concept in my introduction. Or if suppose they ask you a question related to gender equality in workplace. So general thing that students do is this case is about gender inequality in the workplace. So instead of that, I would actually go by constitutional articles. That the article 39 talks about 39A talks about equal pay for equal work, or something related to facts about IMF, that IMF says that if gender equality or female labor force participation is there, this much GDP would improve. So थोड़ा सा मैं GS का facts and figures इसमें ले आती थी. कुछ चीजें internally I try to incorporate some quotations or some examples in the answer itself. So that is how it worked, and I think case studies के लिए आप विजन का एक लेक्चर है ऑनलाइन, सिद्धार्थ जैन थे, आई थिंक 2016 में थे या 2017 में थे, उनका हाउ टू अप्रोच केस स्टडीज वीडियो मैंने रेफर किया था, वो मुझे काफी हेल्प किया था. सो यू कैन रेफर दैट वीडियो ऑल्सो, इट्स फ्रीली अवेलेबल ऑन यूट्यूब. इट वाज नॉर्मल टॉपर सेशन, so that you can refer. I had referred that video.
Okay,
Ma'am, I have last question that the GS4 ethics paper is difficult to attempt it completely. So how did you manage to complete the entire paper?
I think
Have you written the entire 2 pages, like in the 10-mark question? Did you fill up the entire 2 pages?
Yes, that I think that is the important thing that I learned from India Bhai's mentorship program is you have to finish the paper on time and it has to be completely filled. So for that, I would say is again answer writing practice is important because when you have things on your tips, you tend to take less time, and when you have practiced enough, आपका हाथ भी तेजी से चलता है. सो उसके लिए आंसर राइटिंग प्रैक्टिस जरूरी है, और GS4 में तो स्पेशली थोड़ा सा सोचना पड़ जाता है, इसलिए वो सोचने का काम एग्जाम के पहले ही करके जाना है, सो दैट वहां पे इतना बर्डन सब नहीं हो, पेपर नहीं छूटता है अगर आपने सफिशिएंट प्रैक्टिस किया हो तो.
Okay, all right.
Thank you, ma'am.
How did you consolidate your notes for last minute preparation, ma'am? Because our syllabus is so huge, we would have accumulated huge heaps of notes. How did you like precisely consolidate? Because that is very important. Like last minute, it is very difficult to revise everything.
True,
So could
true.
you, Yes. ma'am.
For that, I think I used to consolidate in subsequent revisions. For example, if I've done my third revision, I used to just write down the points that I used to forget often. Then after my fourth revision, out of those points, I used to write again the points that I'm forgetting. So by the end of my fifth or sixth revisions, I used to get only very few points, just the ones that I'm forgetting and just the ones that are very important. So with subsequent revisions, I shortened my notes with subsequent revisions.
Okay, all right, people. So
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, all the best.
And one
Very
last
nice.
question.
Last question.
Yes. Ma'am, how to make notes for CSAT?
Notes for CSAT. I'm sorry, I have never made any notes for CSAT, but I think for notes for CSAT, mostly the formulas would be there. I think in CSAT, more of a practice is needed instead of notes.
So
Good evening, ma'am. One last question from my side. Please, sir, one last question. Yeah, please let me. Ma'am, myself, Dr. Sharath, I have been qualified in prelims in my first attempt, and I have a dilemma in approaching the mains. I have written enough tests before prelims, but because of this result, I have only 50 days left for my preparation. So how to proceed for mains? Because this is my first attempt, and I have a phobia how to attempt this. So please give me.
First of all, congratulations for clearing prelims in your first attempt itself. It's a very commendable thing. Secondly, I don't think you should have some phobia because you have already practiced tests before the prelims, right? So don't have any phobia about the thing. If you have if you have already practiced some tests, I think you would know which part of the preparation or which part of the syllabus you are missing out, as in if you are weak in general studies paper 1, 2, 3, 4. So identify that thing. I think for me it would be very vague to give an opinion because I don't know about your optional, your level of preparation in your optional. But one general advice that I would give is don't ignore your optional ethics and essay paper. Generally what mistakes people do is GS 1, 2, 3. That is the only focus that people do, and they ignore optional ethics and essay. So do practice these things properly.
Yeah,
So,
ma'am,
okay.
how to specially cover this world history, society, and internal security? Mostly world history and society, ma'am.
You have covered these things, right?
Yes, ma'am. But society, I think most of the questions are from society in paper 1 and paper 2, and this is also relevant in essay and ethics. So how to be more focus on society, especially?
You haven't done these things, or you have done these things?
Yeah, I have done, but that was mostly superficial reading.
But other topics are remaining, right?
Yes, ma'am. I have done very good with essays and ethics, and my score around this for this essay and ethics is
No,
80.
I'm telling in GS1, apart from society, have you done other things? Ancient India, modern India, geography, environment and ecology. Are you done with those things?
Yeah, except the world history in paper 1,
Achha,
everything.
these are the things you haven't done, right? So I think world history, you don't have to stress too much about that. There is world history ka NCERT you can refer, or you can refer Visions material on world history. That would be more than sufficient. And for society, again, I think current affairs current affairs would suffice. And one more thing, which topic were you telling?
Yeah, world history, society, ma'am, and how to utilize the synopsis of test papers that I have written.
See, the test papers, see, whatever test you have written, just go through those tests again and see if you would have written them again in the examination. How you would have written them? Suppose if you would have got an extra time, 15 minutes, how better could you have done those things? Also, in the model answers, there would be some points that you would have missed. So note down those points also, because within the time constraint that we are writing, we tend to miss out on important points. So note down the more important points in the model answer, important facts that are there, or important examples for the final revision. That would help you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, so
and one more thing I wanted to say was, for especially for the students who are writing mains, when you are writing the test papers, just go and revise them again. At times, what people do is they write the test and they forget about it. And sometimes the same question comes in the exam and फिर test में जैसा लिखा होता है वैसा ही exam में भी लिख के आते हैं. So do revisit your test papers.
Okay, so all right, people. So I'd like to say one more thing, that Pallavi will be the part of our CMP program, and we have got ethics session, essay session, daily answer writing practice session. Along with that, we have got different optional session which is available on the channel of India Why. So you can join, you can go and you can check out what are the courses which are provided by us. So and if you feel like you need an institutional support here, then you can contact us for enrolling into that, and then subsequently we will be guiding you. Even Pallavi will also be guiding you on behalf of India Bhai sir. So okay, thank you all. Thank you very much for attending the session, and I wish you all the best. Yes.
Ma'am, I have a very typical question to you. Then actually, I'm not that much good at math, so everyone keeps telling me that I should skip you for यूपीएससी. मतलब मेरी मैथ ज्यादा अच्छी नहीं है, तो सब मुझको यही सजेस्ट कर रहे हैं कि नहीं नहीं तुझे यूपीएससी तो बिल्कुल नहीं करनी चाहिए. So I want to know कि what are the topics that are covered in the mathematics in the entire examination. मतलब कहाँ तक
नहीं,
math
ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. तुम्हारी मैथ्स अच्छी नहीं है तब तो तुम्हें यूपीएससी करना चाहिए. तुम्हें एसएससी और बैंक नहीं करना चाहिए शायद. बट हाँ ये है कि यूपीएससी में बहुत बेसिक मैथ्स आता है, 10th तक का मैथ्स आता है, तो इतना इशू नहीं है. तो आप रोज आधा घंटा बेसिक मैथमेटिक्स का प्रैक्टिस करोगे तो वो चीजें हो जाएंगी. जो टॉपिक्स हैं सिलेबस के, आप मृणाल की वेबसाइट पे जाइए, वहां पे उन्होंने बेसिक टॉपिक सारे दिए हुए हैं, उनके किस तरह से अप्रोच करना है, कैसे सॉल्यूशन करना है. आई थिंक मृणाल सर का जो वेबसाइट है दैट इज वन स्टॉप फॉर ऑल दी एस्पिरेंट्स हु आर नॉट एबल टू अफोर्ड कोचिंग और एनीथिंग. वहां पे आपको सीसैट की अच्छे से सारी चीजें मिल जाएंगी. आप उसे रेफर कर सकती है समझने के लिए और सॉल्व करने के लिए भी. ये मैथमेटिक्स का हो गया. उसके बाद रीडिंग कॉम्प्रिहेंशन होता है. वो आई थिंक आप एक कोई भी बुक खरीद लीजिए मार्केट से, अरिहंत का या किसी का रीडिंग कॉम्प्रिहेंशन का, उसको आप सॉल्व करिए तो वो हो जाएगा. यूपीएससी में आपको सिर्फ मैथ्स पास मतलब जो एप्टीट्यूड या सीसैट का पेपर होता है वो सिर्फ पास करने के लिए चाहिए होता है, तो उसको आप प्रैक्टिस करेंगे तो हो जाएगा. मैथ्स को लेके यूपीएससी छोड़ रहे हैं वो नहीं ठीक है.
Hello, ma'am.
या हेलो.
Hello, ma'am. Congratulations to you, ma'am. I want to ask, like, how to deal with the self-doubt that you get in the preparation mode when you don't clear, like, for multiple times.
See, I think one thing is that first you accept your failures regardless of whatever your preparation is. Secondly, you keep revising and practicing. I think when you revise and practice as many times as possible, there would be some days when you would get very good marks. There would be some days when you would not get good marks. So when you would get good marks, you would get a sense of confidence that, okay, fine, I am able to do it. Also, one thing is that I would like to tell about myself only. There is not much difference between me and you. Honestly, I'm telling you, we all are equally capable. Those who have made it in the past, those who have made it this year, we are all same people. We haven't done anything extra, and if we can do it, anyone else can also do it. I still believe that if someone like me, an average student like me, can do it, anyone else can do it. Just have some faith, and for that you keep revising and practicing the test. I think when you revise more and when you have the command over your subject, you automatically get that self confidence that, okay, fine, I can deal with the questions now. So focus on your efforts. Don't think about whether you would qualify or whether you are good enough. There are lakhs of students appearing. You don't have to worry about that. Don't think about all those things.
Ma'am, what is your take on, like, the changing nature of the, like, prelim exam? Like, what should be done to that, like, make sure that you clear it? Like,
See, that is what I think I have said in the beginning itself, that the changing nature, it's not in prelims. the exam is of such nature that it would be changing with time also. And I don't think there was very surprising that they asked this year. Yes, they do tend to break some stereotypes. That is what I said. People tend to rely on ready-made materials. People tend to ignore basic books. People go with a rigid mindset. So you don't have to go with all those things. You focus on your basic current affairs. You focus on your basic books, basic revisions, and solve as many questions as as it is possible for you to know what is your accuracy rate, to know how much you are able to guess intelligently. These things are very important. Test practice, especially for prelims, is very important.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you for your wise words.
Yeah, all the best.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, guys, I think we should close now. Already, I think many sufficient question has been taken up. And Pallavi, you can share your email also to them. If anybody
Yes.
wants to get in touch with you, they can always get in touch. And in case Pallavi is there with us in the CMP program, anyone want to talk to her, she can always get back. Anyone can get her number or email ID from me also, and they can get in touch with her. So Pallavi, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot to you. Thanks a lot to Satyajit sir. Because of him, we have been here to monitor the progress of the session. So thanks a lot, Pallavi.
Thank you,
Thanks a
sir.
lot,
Thank you so much.
sir. Satyajit sir.
Much.
So Pallavi,
And
wish you all
guys,
success.
those
Wish you all
people who
success.
are not aware of this channel, I'll say this is you search @India by channel on Telegram, and you will be able to join that channel. We provide all our programs there. We provide all the notes. Everything is provided there. A lot of things will be provided free of cost. So you can subscribe to the channel and be in touch with us. We will be helping you in further selection. All right. So good night, everyone, and all the best.
Good night. Good night.
Yeah.
All the best to everyone. Thank you.
Yeah, all the best.